Every day, millions of adults over 60 are trying to protect their kidneys by eating more vegetables. They fill their plates with greens. They choose vegetable soups. They buy canned vegetables because they look simple and healthy. Some even start drinking green smoothies because they believe more vegetables must mean better kidney health. But here is the part almost no one explains. For aging kidneys, the problem is not always junk food. Sometimes the problem is the healthy food you trust, because the wrong vegetable, the wrong portion, or the wrong preparation method can quietly add more potassium, more sodium, or more hidden strain than your kidneys are ready to handle. You cannot taste potassium building up in your blood. You cannot smell sodium hidden inside a canned vegetable. You cannot feel kidney stress the moment it begins. But over time, those small daily choices may show up in ways people often blame on age. Swollen ankles, nighttime bathroom trips, morning brain fog, higher blood pressure, or a blood test where your doctor starts talking about creatinine, GFR, and declining kidney function. And this is why today's video matters. I am going to show you 5 common vegetables that may be much gentler for your kidneys after 60, especially if you are trying to support healthier creatinine balance, reduce unnecessary kidney strain, and build meals that are better suited for an older body. But stay with me until the end, because it is not just about which vegetables you eat, it is also about how you prepare them. The same vegetable can be helpful when it is fresh, lightly cooked, and eaten in the right amount. But it can become a problem when it is overcooked, covered in salty sauces, blended into a concentrated smoothie, or eaten in portions your kidneys may not be ready to handle. And the first vegetable we will talk about is not exotic. It is not expensive, and it does not look powerful at all. In fact, most people walk right past it in the grocery store because it seems too ordinary to matter. But when prepared the right way, it may become one of the simplest kidney-friendly vegetables you can put on your plate. Before we begin, remember this: these vegetables are not medicine. They do not replace your doctor, your blood tests, your prescriptions, or a renal dietitian. But if you are over 60, the right vegetables, used the right way, may help make your meals gentler on your kidneys. Now let's start with the first vegetable. Vegetable. Number 1. Red cabbage. Red cabbage is not an unusual vegetable. It is affordable, easy to find, easy to store, and many people only see it as something that makes a salad look more colorful. But if you are worried about high creatinine, a lower GFR, or weaker kidneys after 60, red cabbage is a vegetable worth paying attention to. The first reason is that red cabbage is usually lower in potassium than many other vegetables. And when it comes to kidney health, this matters a lot. Potassium is not bad. Your body needs potassium for muscles, nerves, and heart rhythm to work properly. But when kidney function declines, the kidneys may not remove extra potassium as effectively as before. When too much potassium builds up in the blood, the body may feel muscle weakness, fatigue, heaviness, heart palpitations, or in serious cases, it may affect heart rhythm. You can picture your kidneys like a kitchen strainer. When the strainer is new, water flows through easily. But when the strainer gets old, clogged, or overloaded, and you pour too much into it at once, it starts to struggle. For someone with weaker kidneys, some high potassium foods can feel similar. Not because those foods are bad, but because your kidneys may no longer handle that amount as easily as they used to. The good thing about red cabbage is that it gives you fiber, antioxidants, and helpful plant compounds without creating as heavy of a potassium load as some other vegetables. Red cabbage is also relatively lighter in phosphorus. For people with kidney problems, high phosphorus over time may affect the bones and blood vessels. So choosing foods that are gentler in potassium and phosphorus can be one way to make your meals more kidney-friendly. But what makes red cabbage even more special is its color. That deep purple-red color is not just for appearance. It comes from natural antioxidant compounds that may help the body fight oxidative stress and quiet ongoing inflammation. Imagine inflammation like a small fire burning silently inside the body. It does not always flare up loudly enough for you to notice right away. But if it keeps burning quietly day after day, it may affect blood vessels, kidney tissue, and many other organs. Red cabbage is not magic. It cannot repair every injury that has already happened, but it can be part of an eating pattern that helps protect what is still working well. And after 60, that is a very realistic goal. We do not always need to chase the idea of reversing everything. Sometimes the more important goal is slowing decline and reducing pressure every day. But here is the mistake many people make with red cabbage. They cook it for too long. They boil it too much. They steam it until it becomes soft and mushy. That beautiful purple color turns grayish blue, and the cabbage loses its natural crunch. When that happens, some of its nutritional value may also be reduced. A better way is to slice red cabbage very thin. You can mix it with a little olive oil. Add a few drops of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Eat it as part of a salad, or, if you want to cook it, steam it lightly for only a few minutes. It should still keep its natural purple color and a little crunch. For many people, a small serving of red cabbage a few times a week may be a very easy place to start. But remember this, you do not need to eat a giant bowl. When it comes to the kidneys, just enough is often better than as much as possible. And if red cabbage helps make the meal lighter in potassium, the second vegetable is especially useful for people who want to replace heavier starches. Vegetable number 2, cauliflower. You may be thinking, what is so special about cauliflower? It does not have the bold color of red cabbage. It does not have the strong smell of garlic. And it does not feel like a superfood. But that simplicity is exactly what makes cauliflower valuable. For people over 60, the more a food is easy to eat, easy to cook, and easy to use in everyday meals, the more practical it becomes. Cauliflower is usually lower in potassium and phosphorus than many other vegetables. This may help people with weaker kidney function manage portions more easily. But the most practical benefit of cauliflower is this: it can replace some heavier foods. For example, many older adults enjoy mashed potatoes. Soft, easy to eat, familiar. But for someone who needs to manage potassium, a large serving of potatoes may not be the best choice. Instead, you can steam cauliflower, mash it until soft, and add a little olive oil, black pepper, or fresh garlic. The dish is still soft, still easy to swallow, still filling, but it may be gentler on the kidneys. Think of your meal like a table. If that table is filled with salty foods, processed meats, bottled sauces, fried foods, heavy starches, and high-sodium packaged products, that table is putting a lot of pressure on your body. But if you replace just one part of that meal with steamed cauliflower, thinly sliced red cabbage, or fresh red bell pepper, that table starts to feel lighter. You do not need to change everything in one day. You just need to replace one thing wisely. That is a more sustainable way to care for your kidneys. Cauliflower also contains fiber and plant compounds that may help the body fight oxidative stress. Put simply, oxidative stress is like rust inside the body. If a car sits outside for too long without protection, it starts to rust. The human body can go through something similar. Over time, blood vessels, kidney cells, and the tiny filters inside the kidneys may be affected when the body is constantly under stress from inflammation, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, too much salt, or an unhealthy lifestyle. Cauliflower cannot restore parts of the body that have been severely damaged, but it can help build a meal that protects what is still working. And with the kidneys, protecting what remains can be more important than chasing extreme promises about cleansing or flushing toxins. But cauliflower also has a trap. The trap is preparation. If you boil it for too long, some nutrients may be lost into the water. If you deep fry it, add too much salted butter, cheese sauce, salt, or packaged seasoning, then a food that was once gentle can become much heavier for the kidneys. A better way is to steam it lightly. Roast it quickly with a little olive oil, or mash it to replace part of your mashed potatoes. But do not turn it into a high-salt dish. Remember this sentence: a good food can become less helpful if you prepare it the wrong way. For many people, cauliflower can appear in meals a few times per week, but the portion still needs to be reasonable, because in kidney nutrition, the important question is not only, is this food healthy? It is, for my body, is this amount appropriate? And now we come to the third one. This one is very small. You do not eat it as a large plate of vegetables, but when used correctly, it may help people over 60 depend less on one thing that can be very hard on the kidneys, and that is salt. Number 3, garlic. Garlic is different from the other vegetables on this list. You do not eat garlic the way you eat cabbage or cauliflower. You use it as a seasoning, but that is exactly why garlic matters in a kidney-friendly eating pattern. Because one of the biggest sources of kidney stress is not always a strange food or a special dish. It is salt. Many people over 60 eat too much salt without realizing it. Salt is in soy sauce, it is in deli meats, it is in canned soups, it is in frozen meals, it is in salty crackers, it is in salad dressings, it is in packaged seasoning blends, and it is also in garlic salt, which many people assume is mostly garlic. When you eat too much salt, the body holds on to more water. Blood pressure may rise, and when high blood pressure continues for a long time, the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys may slowly become damaged. Imagine the small filters inside your kidneys like very delicate screens. If they face strong pressure from high blood pressure every day, they may weaken over the years. This is why fresh garlic has value. Garlic can make food smell better, taste richer, and feel more satisfying without adding so much salt. For older adults, this is very practical. Not everyone can suddenly eat bland food. If meals taste too plain, many people give up after just a few days. But if you know how to use fresh garlic, lemon, black pepper, apple cider vinegar, herbs, onion, or a little olive oil, your meals can still taste good without depending so heavily on salt. Garlic also contains a well-known compound called allicin. Allicin forms when fresh garlic is crushed or finely chopped. This compound is often discussed in research related to inflammation, heart health, and blood pressure. And blood pressure is closely connected to kidney health. But here is a small trick many people miss. If you put a whole garlic clove directly into a hot pan, the helpful compounds may not have enough time to form properly. A better way is to crush or finely chop the garlic first, then let it sit for about 10 minutes. After that, add it to your food. It sounds very simple, but that is a smarter way to use garlic. However, garlic also requires caution. Garlic does not replace blood pressure medication. Garlic does not replace heart medication, and you should not eat large amounts of garlic hoping your creatinine will drop quickly. Especially if you take blood thinners, heart medications, are preparing for surgery, or have more advanced kidney disease. Ask your doctor before increasing garlic in your diet. For many stable adults, 1 to 2 fresh cloves a day used in cooking may be an easy amount to apply. But avoid garlic salt. Avoid garlic powder mixed with salt. Avoid bottled garlic seasonings if the nutrition label shows a high amount of sodium, because fresh garlic and garlic salt are two very different things. One may help you rely less on salt, the other may quietly make your meals saltier. And if garlic helps food taste richer without adding more salt, the fourth vegetable helps make meals brighter, crunchier, easier to eat, and richer in antioxidants. Number 4. Red bell pepper. Red bell pepper is a very friendly vegetable for older adults. It is not spicy. It does not have a strong smell. It has a light, natural sweetness, and its bright red color makes meals look much more appealing. This may sound small, but it is actually very important. After 60, many people do not enjoy food the way they used to. Some people experience changes in taste. Some medications cause dry mouth. Some people live alone, so meals become repetitive and dull. When food looks boring, people may eat less, or they may reach for salty, crunchy packaged snacks because they are convenient. Red bell pepper can help make meals fresher, brighter, and easier to enjoy without adding more salt. But its benefit is not only in the color. Red bell pepper is rich in natural vitamin C from a whole food. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that helps support the protection of cells and blood vessels. And for the kidneys, blood vessels are extremely important. The kidneys are not just a filtering machine. They are a very delicate blood filtering system. Inside the kidneys are many tiny blood vessels and tiny filters. If blood vessels are damaged by high blood pressure, high blood sugar, long-term inflammation, or too much salt and processed food, kidney filtration may be affected over time. So foods that support blood vessel health may indirectly support kidney health as well. Some people hear vitamin C and immediately worry about kidney stones. But we need to make a clear distinction. The concern is usually more connected to high-dose vitamin C supplements. That is different from getting natural vitamin C from a whole vegetable like red bell pepper. Red bell pepper is also usually easier to manage in potassium than some other foods. For example, tomatoes also contain antioxidants. But for some people with kidney disease, eating too many tomatoes or using concentrated tomato sauce may raise potassium intake significantly. Red bell pepper may be easier to manage in many meals. The way to use it is very simple. You can slice it thin and eat it raw. Add it to salads, put it in a sandwich, eat it with eggs, stir-fry it quickly with cauliflower or cabbage, or use a few slices of red bell pepper as a snack instead of salty chips, but do not cook it for too long. Vitamin C is sensitive to heat. If you cook red bell pepper until it becomes soft and limp, some of the vitamin C may be reduced. It is best eaten raw or lightly cooked. For many people, half a red bell pepper to 1 small red bell pepper a day may be easy to apply as long as it fits their personal health condition. And once again, remember the important rule: no food is right for everyone. If your doctor has told you to control potassium, phosphorus, salt, fluid, or blood sugar, follow that guidance first. Now we come to the 5th vegetable. This one makes some people nervous simply because after eating it, urine may smell different. But that unusual smell is not always a bad sign. Vegetable number 5, asparagus. Asparagus has a very interesting feature. After eating it, some people notice that their urine smells unusual. And because we are talking about kidneys, many people immediately worry, does this mean something is wrong with my kidneys? In most cases, the answer is no. That smell usually comes from natural compounds in asparagus being broken down and released by the body. It does not automatically mean your kidneys are failing, so do not panic just because of this. Asparagus gets attention because it may have mild diuretic effects in some people. In simple terms, it may help the body release extra fluid through urine in a gentle way. For some people with mild fluid retention, mild leg swelling, or blood pressure related to fluid buildup, this may sound appealing, but this must be said very clearly. Asparagus does not replace diuretic medication. If your doctor prescribed a water pill, blood pressure medication, heart medication, or any medication related to your kidneys, you should not stop it just because you are eating asparagus. Food can support your lifestyle, but medications and medical treatment must still follow your doctor's guidance. Asparagus also contains antioxidants, including glutathione, a compound connected to protecting cells from damage. It also contains folate, a B vitamin related to red blood cell production. This is worth mentioning because many people with kidney disease, especially as kidney function declines further, may experience anemia. They may feel tired more easily, short of breath, weak, or their skin may look paler. Of course, asparagus cannot treat anemia caused by kidney disease, but an eating pattern with enough supportive nutrients is still an important foundation. The best way to prepare asparagus is gently. Rinse it well, snap off the tough ends, steam it quickly, saute it lightly, or roast it with a little olive oil, fresh garlic, and black pepper. Asparagus tastes best when it still has a little bite. If you cook it until it becomes mushy, it is not only less enjoyable, but it may also lose some nutrients. For many people, a small serving of asparagus a few times per week may be appropriate. But if you are in a later stage of kidney disease, or if your doctor has told you to strictly control potassium, ask a renal dietitian before eating asparagus regularly. Because when it comes to kidney care, the most important thing is not chasing a food list. The most important thing is knowing what your own body needs. And before we close, there is one very important part that many people overlook. We just talked about 5 vegetables that may support a more kidney-friendly eating pattern. But the same vegetable can be helpful or unhelpful depending on how you use it. And these are the mistakes that cause many people over 60 to accidentally make their kidneys work harder. Mistake number 1. Thinking that all vegetables are automatically good for the kidneys. Many people think vegetables are always healthy. The greener, the better. The more I eat, the healthier I'll be. But for someone with weaker kidney function, this is not always true. Spinach, potatoes, avocado, bananas, oranges, orange juice, beets, or green smoothies can be healthy foods for many people. But they may also contain more potassium, oxalates, or minerals than some people with kidney disease can handle well. So the question is not only, is this food healthy? The better question is this food right for my kidney condition? That is a very big difference. Mistake number 2, drinking too many green smoothies. A smoothie may look very healthy, but inside it can contain a very large amount of vegetables and fruits, a handful of spinach, half an avocado, 1 banana, some orange juice, a scoop of green powder, all blended into 1 glass. If you ate each item separately, you might not finish that much, but once it is blended, you may drink the whole thing in just a few minutes. For weaker kidneys, this can feel like too much work arriving all at once. The body receives a large amount of potassium, natural sugar, and minerals very quickly. So eating vegetables slowly with a meal is very different from drinking a whole bunch of greens in 1 glass. Do not let the word healthy make you careless. Mistake number 3, turning vegetables into a high-salt dish. This mistake is very common. Vegetables by themselves may be gentle, But then we add soy sauce, garlic salt, packaged seasoning, bottled sauces, bacon, high-sodium canned foods, and in the end, that vegetable dish is no longer gentle. Salt makes the body hold on to water, it may raise blood pressure, and it can make the kidneys work harder. If you want vegetables to taste better, use fresh garlic, lemon, apple cider vinegar, black pepper, herbs, onion, or a little olive oil. Learn to read food labels. If a seasoning is high in sodium, be careful. Sometimes the thing making the kidneys tired is not the vegetable. It is what you pour on top of the vegetable. Mistake number 4. Drinking too little water because you are afraid of waking up at night. Many older adults do this. They start drinking less in the afternoon. Some people almost stop drinking water after lunch. The reason is that they are afraid of waking up at night to use the bathroom. This is very understandable, but for many people, drinking too little water may cause mild dehydration. The blood may become more concentrated. Waste removal may become harder, and sometimes lab numbers may be affected too. However, this must be said clearly. If your doctor has told you to limit fluids because of heart failure, severe swelling, or advanced kidney disease, follow that advice. But if you have never been told to restrict fluids, do not cut back too much on your own just because you are afraid of nighttime urination. Instead, ask your doctor how to spread your fluids throughout the day. Many people may be able to drink more in the morning and early afternoon, then gradually reduce fluids in the evening. That is often more reasonable than avoiding water all day. Number 5. This is the final mistake: changing your diet too quickly without asking your doctor. This is very important. Every person has a different situation, different creatinine levels, different GFR numbers, different potassium levels, different phosphorus levels, different blood pressure, different blood sugar, and different medications. So there is no single kidney diet that is right for everyone. One vegetable may be very appropriate for one person, but another person may need to eat less of it or avoid it during a certain stage. So think of these 5 vegetables as ideas to help you understand your body better and ask your doctor better questions. Not as a way to treat yourself, not as a way to replace medication, and definitely not as a promise that creatinine will drop in just a few days. Kidney health does not change overnight. It is like caring for a garden that has been through years of sun, wind, and harsh weather. You cannot water it one time and expect the whole garden to turn green immediately. But if each day you harm it a little less, give it something more suitable, protect it a little better, over time, the body may be better supported, so start very simply. Add a little red cabbage to your salad. Use cauliflower to replace part of your mashed potatoes. Use fresh garlic instead of garlic salt. Eat a few slices of red bell pepper instead of salty snacks. Or try a small serving of asparagus if it fits your doctor's guidance. These things may sound very small, but for the kidneys, small changes repeated every day may make a meaningful difference over time. And remember this, getting older does not mean you have to give up on your health. Age may slow the body down, but every better choice can still help you live with more comfort, more stability, and more confidence. Just one day at a time, one better meal, a little less salt, one glass of water at the right time, one kinder choice for your kidneys, your heart, and the body that has carried you through all these years. And before you leave this video, I want you to remember one very important thing. Your kidneys do not need a miracle. Your kidneys need less pressure every day, a little less salt, a little less processed food. a little less of those overly concentrated green smoothies, a little less of the choices that force your body to handle too much potassium, phosphorus, sugar, sodium, or waste all at once. And instead, your kidneys need meals that are simpler, gentler, more stable, and more appropriate for your real health condition. Today, we talked about 5 familiar vegetables: red cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, red bell pepper, and asparagus. None of these are cures. None of them can make creatinine drop overnight, and none of them are perfect for everyone. But when they are used the right way, in the right amount, and in the right situation, they can become smarter choices for people over 60 who want to eat in a more kidney-friendly way. Red cabbage may help you add fiber, color, and antioxidants to your meals without creating as much potassium burden as some other vegetables. Cauliflower may help you replace part of heavier starches, like mashed potatoes, so the meal stays soft and easy to eat, but feels gentler. Fresh garlic may help your food taste better without depending too much on salt. Red bell pepper may make your meal brighter, crunchier, and more appealing, while providing natural vitamin C from a whole food. And asparagus, if it is appropriate for your condition, may be a gentle option a few times per week, as long as you do not use it as a replacement for medication or medical care. But the most important thing is not one single vegetable. The most important thing is how you build the whole meal, because the kidneys are not affected by only one food. They are affected by what you repeat every day. One salty meal today may not make you feel different right away. One high potassium green smoothie today may not make you notice anything immediately. One day of drinking too little water may not create an obvious problem. But if those things repeat day after day, week after week, year after year, your kidneys may quietly carry more pressure than you realize. And the good news is that the opposite is also true. One good choice today may not change everything right away, but if you repeat it consistently, it may become a powerful way to care for your body. Add a little red cabbage to your salad. Use cauliflower instead of part of your mashed potatoes. Use fresh garlic instead of garlic salt. Eat a few slices of red bell pepper instead of salty snacks. Ask your doctor whether asparagus is appropriate for your potassium level and kidney condition. These are all small things, but for the kidneys, small things repeated consistently are what truly matter. If you want to start this week, keep it simple. Do not change your entire kitchen in one day. Do not throw everything away. Do not force yourself into a diet so strict that you feel exhausted before you even begin. For the next 7 days, choose just one thing. On the first day, look at your meals and ask, which food here has too much salt? On the second day, try replacing one salty food with a gentler vegetable option. On the third day, if you use garlic, use fresh garlic instead of garlic salt. On the fourth day, add a little color to your meal with red bell pepper or red cabbage. On the fifth day, if you often eat mashed potatoes, try a serving of mashed cauliflower. On the sixth day, check the food labels in your kitchen, especially sauces, seasonings, canned foods, and packaged foods. And on the seventh day, write down one question to ask your doctor or renal dietitian. With my creatinine, GFR, potassium, and phosphorus levels, which vegetables are best for me? That one question alone may help you feel much more confident about eating. Because when you understand your body better, you become less afraid. You no longer look at food and simply ask, is this good or bad? Instead, you begin asking better questions. Is this right for me? How much should I eat? How should I prepare it? Do I need to limit potassium, phosphorus, salt, or fluids? That is the wiser way to care for your kidneys after 60. And I want you to remember this. Your creatinine number is not a life sentence. A lower GFR does not mean you should panic. A concerning lab result does not mean you have lost the ability to care for your body. It is a signal, a reminder, an opportunity to look again at how you eat, how you drink water, how you use salt, how you take medications, and how you care for your health each day. You do not need to become perfect. You just need to become more aware when choosing vegetables, more aware when seasoning food, more aware when buying canned foods, more aware when drinking water, more aware when following your doctor's advice, and more aware of the body that has quietly served you for so many years. Your kidneys have worked for you every day, even when you did not think about them, even when you ate too much salt, even when you drank too little water, even when you were busy, stressed, or unsure of what was best. Your kidneys kept working quietly filtering your blood, quietly keeping balance, quietly trying to protect you. So starting today, respond with kinder choices, not with fear, but with understanding, not with an extreme diet, but with small, steady, realistic changes. One lower salt meal, one more appropriate vegetable, one glass of water at a better time, one better question for your doctor, one gentler decision for your kidneys, your heart, and your whole body. If this video helped you understand creatinine, GFR, and more kidney-friendly vegetables after 60, please tap the like button so YouTube can show this video to more older adults. There may be someone out there who just received a high creatinine result and feels completely confused about what to eat. One like or one share from you may help them find this video at the right time. Share this video with a family member, a friend, or anyone who is worried about kidney health, nighttime urination, swollen feet, high blood pressure, or eating after 60. And if you want more simple, practical, easy to follow nutrition guidance for life after 60, subscribe to Senior Food Coach. Now, leave a comment below and tell me, which of the 5 vegetables will you start with first? Red cabbage, cauliflower, fresh garlic, red bell pepper, or asparagus? And if your doctor has ever told you to limit potassium, phosphorus, salt, or fluids, share your experience in the comments. Your story may help someone else feel less alone on their kidney health journey. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I wish you a peaceful, healthy, and energetic day. And as always, take a deep breath, my friend. One day at a time, one meal at a time, one better choice at a time. That is how we care for our kidneys, our hearts, and our lives after 60.